Advanced 7th, Chapter 15, Lesson 5, Measures of Variation, or Measures of the Spread of Data. Part 1, the Mean Absolute Deviation, or MAD. You have used measures of center to describe the middle of a set of data, and you have used range to describe the spread, or variation of data. Another way to describe variation of a set of data is to use its mean absolute deviation. The MAD of a set of data is the average distance between each data value and the mean. The MAD is the average distance between each data value and the mean. Underline, circle, highlight that, and memorize it. In order to find the MAD, step 1, you find the mean. Step 2, you find the absolute value, so the distance between a number and 0, the absolute value, of the distance between each data and the mean. Step 3, find the average of those absolute values. All right, we will do letter A together. The table shows the heights of the first 8 people standing in line to ride a roller coaster. Find the mean absolute deviation of the set of data. Describe what it means, what it represents in English, in plain language, not in math. Okay, so in order for us to do this, first we find the mean. Once I can get this to cooperate here, we find the mean first. You should get 56. Step 2, we take that number and we subtract every data value from it, and we take the absolute value. So I'm going to show that as 56 minus 52, the absolute value of that. So 56 minus 52 is 4, and the absolute value of 4 is 4. I'm going to continue that for the entire problem. So yes, this is quite a bit of writing. Okay, I completed step 2. I found the absolute value of the difference the mean is from every individual data point. So the mean, 56, minus each of the heights, and the absolute value of those. Again, you may try to remember the absolute value as the positive number. That is not a good idea. You really need to memorize the definition of absolute value. The absolute value is the distance a number is from 0. Okay, step 3 is we find the average of all of those. So the MAD is the average of all the distance, the absolute value of the distances from the mean. You should get 3.75. Doesn't sit around, so I am going to leave it. Our problem was find the MAD. We've done it. Describe what it means, what the MAD means or represents. Well, the MAD represents so the MAD represents that all 8 people in line are on average 3.75 inches from the mean height, from 56 inches. Okay, I'd like you to do letter B on your own. It should be slightly less writing as there's only 5 data points instead of 8. Only slightly less writing. Good luck. All right, on the back we move into standard deviation. So a distance from the mean that is standard. The standard deviation of a set of data is a calculated value that shows how the data deviates from the mean of the data. In this case, we had to find the MAD on the front. On the back, good news. That the value for the standard deviation is already going to be given to you. You will explore this a whole lot more in high school in Algebra 2. Not really at all in Algebra 1. In a given set of data, most of the values fall within one standard deviation of the mean. So, if the mean of a data set is 21, and I give you the standard deviation is 3.5, then most values fall between 21 plus or minus 3.5, or between 21 minus 3.5 of 17.5 and 21 plus 3.5 of, or 24.5. So most data values are going to fall between the range of 17.5 and 24.5, or 21 plus or minus 3.5. In order to do to find the range of values, step 1, we find the mean. Step 2, we find the range values that are within one standard deviation of the mean. Again, in Algebra 2 in high school, sometimes you'll do a lot of times you'll do one standard deviation from the mean or two, in which case it would be plus or minus 3 to the left and to the right, or plus 3.5, plus 3.5, minus 3.5, minus 3.5, 2 standard deviations. But everything we're doing here is just one. Okay, letter A. The standard deviation of quiz scores for Class A is about 1.2. Again, plus or minus 1.2. Describe the quiz scores that are within one standard deviation of the mean. So step 1, one more time, we need to find out what the mean is. All right, we should get 8.25. Again, I am not going to round because it doesn't tell me to. So it sounds like for this class A, the student's average score was about an 80% or an 83%, an 8.25 out of 10, presumably, is what we're looking at here. Okay, so describe the quiz scores that are within 100 standard deviation from the mean. So I'm going to take 8.25, the mean, and 8.25 the mean again, and I'm going to subtract and then add the standard deviation. It was 1.2. We should get 8.25 minus 1.2 is 7.05, and 8.25 plus 1.2 is 9.45. So our range is 705 to 945. Class A. Class A's scores mostly range from 7.05 to 9.45. Could also mention again that this is one standard deviation from the mean. Letter B, I would like you to do on your own. Good luck.